Hey there, everyone. This is Mystic Fish, and welcome to episode 2 of our Factorio series on building the Expandabase. And last episode, we laid out our grid system. And this episode, I want to start working on some of the early game stuff. So, wanting to just do some quick designs for bootstrapping the base. And so what I want to do is I want to set up a little doohickey here that will let us build some initial stuff right off the bat with some automation. And so here is my idea for how to do that. Let's get ourselves an assembly machine to make gears. This is a key critical early game component. Let's get some inserters. And let's assume that we're going to feed we're going to drop some iron in here and then feed it into the gears, and we'll collect gears in a box here. Then the other thing that we're going to need in the early game are belts. So we can also add belts by feeding the gears directly into the belts. Also getting from the same box of iron and then putting them out into a box there. Okay, what else do we need? The other thing that uses iron in the early game is ammo, which is especially important if you're on a death world. So we'll get some ammo into there. Let's see, can we put this somewhere that we can get access to this power pole? No, we're gonna need another power pole, but that is okay. We'll collect ammo here. Get another power pole like that. All right, so that covers some basic iron stuff. The other thing that needs gears is red science. So let's feed some gears into the red science. Then red science also needs copper, so we'll have to drop some copper into a box here. And that gets us some initial science. Let's get a lab. Feed the red science into there. So we're getting copper in here, gears in here, into the lab. We have copper in here, and so we can also set up copper cables out of the copper, feed them into green circuits. We can also put some iron in this box, and that will let us make green circuits. And then we can collect the green circuits in a box like that. And then, let's see, I wonder if that actually manages to power everything. It does. Okay, so that is what we're gonna set up as sort of our initial bootstrap here. We're just going to plunk down this blueprint right at the beginning. We can plunk down the lab. We can feed in the initial handcrafted red science that we need to get automation, and then the rest of this stuff should be buildable from here. And then we're going to plan on doing burner miners and things like that to feed this into here. Okay, this feels like a good blueprint, so let's go grab this thing. Let's just call this, the Bootstrap. Does a little bit of red science, makes a little bit of intermediates, some belts and some ammo. So that should be enough to keep us alive and help us start building the next segment of the base. All right, so now the next question is, and actually here, I'm gonna use, I have a mod installed called the rate calculator, which, is this even one of these guys? Rate calculator is that guy, this guy. So we can drag over this and we can get our picture for what does this consume. So this consumes 360 iron per minute and 66 copper per minute, which is good stuff. And so then we need to produce that much stuff. So let's take a look at how much we need to do this. So if we do, or let's see, actually what I want is, let's take a look at a burner miner. This produces 0.25 ore per second. So if I want 360 ore or plates per minute, that's that much ore per minute. So 360 ore per minute. Divide by 60 is that much ore per second, and then divide by 0.25 will give us 24 burner miners on iron, which is a hefty amount, but is actually, I think, on a par with what we see a lot of speedrunners put together in terms of their first burner setup. But that's good to know there. And so we're going to want, how much is this? 11, 12. We're going to need the burner miners, which I can't lay out yet. Okay. So, so let's just note this. This consumes 360 iron plates per minute. And what was the rate of copper? That's a good question. 360 and 66. Okay, so consumes 360 iron plates per minute, consumes 66 copper plates per minute. Okay, save blueprint. And let's get a new book, and we'll call this we'll just call this Jumpstart, because we'll have all of the early Jumpstarty stuff in here. So we'll put the Bootstrap one in there, and then let's get out of the lab area. And let's hop into the editor, into here. Let's remove all entities, fill with lab tiles. Thank you. Okay, we are going to need to get some, let's see, I need some ground. Dirt's fine. Let's get some dirt. And let's see, we need some resources. So let's get some iron ore. Can I spray some iron ore in there? Look at that. That's kind of neat. All right, and we are also going to need copper ore in here. Okay, that's good for that. Okay, so now we said we were going to need 24 burner miners. That's 11, 12. And then we're going to need stone furnaces for all of them, which those are there. And we're going to copy this. We're going to flip it or rotate it around. Okay, so we'll need all of those. Okay, now we need 66 copper ore per minute. Divide by 60 to get seconds, and then divide by 0.25 gives us, okay, 5, let's call it 6. So we're gonna need this much for here. Okay, right right. So let's take a look at this. This is, we need to figure out how much coal we need. So here, let's get some more. Let's get some more dirt. Dirt. And let's get some resources. Let's get some coal. And say none. Okay, so I think this is actually a little short. Because we're also going, because our little bootstrap thing will consume all of the iron from this. So I think we might need to extend this out at least a little bit. So that's 24. We could go to, let's say none. Add 6 more, that makes 30, right? All right, so we can get a big old iron thing going. 6 is more than enough for this. Okay, so we've got now 36 burner miners, and they consume 150 kilowatts each times 150 kilowatts. That's kilowatts divided by 1,000 to get megawatts, and then divided by 4, because there are 4 megajoules per piece of coal. So this should give us coal per second. 1.35 coal per second for the burner miners, for all the burner miners. Okay, clear that entry. All right, we've got 36 times 0.25. So this is producing 9 ore per second. And let's see, and this consumes 90 kilowatts, but the time it takes is, why am I not seeing the recipe for this guy? Oh, that's not what I want it to have happen. Oh, because I'm in the editor. Oh, that's why. Okay, well, it's 3.5 seconds, I'm pretty sure. So that's, this is coal per second. And so then if we want to, what do we want to do here? All right, let's stop. Okay, so one iron furnace can do 1 divided by 3.5 coal per second. And then it's 90 kilowatts, right? 90 kilowatts. This is complicated by the fact that these can't run full speed. So what it really is 1 divided by 3.5 is this. Okay, so 0.29. Okay, so then the amount of, it won't run full speed because it's only going to do 0.25. So that will be 0.25 divided by 0.29 times 90 divided by, that's 90 kilowatts burner, or divided by 1,000 to get megawatts, divided by 4 to get coal per second. And then we have 36 stone furnaces for a total of 0.7. Okay, so the furnaces consume 0.7 coal per second. And the miners consume 1.35 per second. Okay, so then the next question is we are going to need stone and coal. So first off, let's clear this. 1.35 plus 0.7 is 2.05. Okay, so to get 2.05 divided by 0.25 is 8.2. Okay, so we're going to need, we really want these to come in pairs so we can feed them back and forth to each other. So that means we're going to need 10 burner miners on coal. Like that, just to power this stuff. But of course, this isn't enough because we also need resources. We also need stone, which we can stick down here. And so if we add what we normally see folks do is something like this with a box in the middle. So that adds 4 burner miners to that, which I think doesn't really probably push us over the 10 that we need here. But now the question is, if this is what we want to build, and so this is producing 1 ore per second total. A stone furnace takes 5 stone, I think. It doesn't say because we're in the editor. Okay. So that means that we get a stone furnace once every 5 seconds, which strikes me as probably being fine. Okay, so I think this is what we're going to set up, but but then we also need our let's get our bootstrap in here. Let's get some more dirt over this way. Let's get this guy down here, and let's see, what does this consume? Some machines have no power. I thought this usually tells you the power consumption. Although I guess we can measure it by doing the following, which is, can we get a do we have an electric guy in here somewhere? Yeah, this one. Okay, that powers all of that. That is the drain. So let's replace some of this. We know a lab consumes 60 kilowatts, so we'll just do that for a second. Let's get some infinity chests. And one here, and one there. We don't have to mess around with research while we go. You are going to filter at most 0, so that means that'll destroy all of the red signs that comes in. We will give you some iron plates and some copper plates, and we'll give you some iron plates. And then we can see once all this stuff is working. Okay, so let's see. This is just spinning up now. So if we look at 5 seconds, what is this averaging? Around 300 kilowatts, plus 60 for the labs, 360 kilowatts, something like that. Okay, so if we want 360 kilowatts, then divide by 1,000 to get megawatts, divide by 4 to get coal per second, and then divide by 0.25 to get burner miners. We need another fractional burner miner to produce enough coal to run the electricity for this guy. Okay. All right, so that's good stuff to do. So So let's go ahead and take... do we want blueprints of this stuff? That's a good question. I guess we might as well. So we can say, let's just call this burner iron. Let's do this. We'll call this burner copper. I guess we'll actually call it copper. We'll change this to the iron. Might as well just blueprint all of these guys. This is burner stone. And then this will be burner coal. Okay. Oops, we need to change our icons there. All right, so these are gonna be the things that we're going to set up. And, these are not hard to build without blueprints, but by blueprinting them, we can know how many of these we're looking to have. And so this should be enough to keep this running, plus allow us to build whatever the next part of our base is going to look like. And so we will get some spare iron and copper out of here because we've built more than we need here. And then this will meanwhile produce a steady diet of green circuits and belts and gears, which will speed up our own handcrafting, and some ammo just in case some of the neighbors decide to show up. Okay, so good stuff. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Let's say we're going to have iron and copper, and actually copper will probably be last because we'll need probably iron, then coal, then stone, and then finally copper, and then we'll be able to build at that point we'll be able to build the science for automation and then spin this guy up. So okay. Good stuff. And that is going to be our bootstrap. And I think that's it. We'll keep this a nice short episode, but this will be what we do to get started. And I think next episode, I actually want to talk about a jumpstart base, which is I want to fill a single tile, or a single one of our grid tiles, one of these guys, with... I think we can squeeze a little jumpstart base in there that will be able to do 30 science per minute and take us all the way up through blue science. So the idea will be, after we do this sort of bootstrap, this is the burners and the little bootstrap automation that we set up here is going to be just enough for us to begin building the jumpstart base in a tile. That will research us all the way up through, I think, the main things that we'll want to see there are enough to start building the main base, but we definitely want construction bots. We want to get to a car. We obviously will need to do oil processing in order to do the blue science for the bots, and probably trains and circuit networks, because those will be a big part of what we do in the rest of the base. And then from that point on, then we'll build the rest of the base from there that we'll use to scale things up. So that is where we're going next. But for right now, we'll keep things humble, and this will be what we're going to do to get started. So that's what we got for today. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye.